Good morning, best ball sickos and degenerates alike. It is June 11th, 2024. Welcome to Best Ball Breakfast with Bruni. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Tuesday morning. The sun is out, the ADP is flowing, and that means it's time to hit the best ball streets. I'm already loaded up in this Best Ball Mania 5 draft. We've got 6 more to start. It's been a slow trudge, to getting it filled. But I do like to try to get in a little bit early so that we're not getting stuck in here, having to wait 45 minutes to an hour for a lobby to fill. So we do have 5 people in there right now. So we are going to be filling up here pretty quickly here, pretty soon. But before we do, as always, we want to touch in on some best ball ADP, baby. We want to look at some risers and fallers in the market. Let's get them pulled up on the board here. Again, appreciate you guys jumping in early morning with me. If you're going to be in the draft, be sure to jump in the chat and share which team you are. We can break down what you're doing out there. All right, first up here, we're looking at risers. Braelon Allen, and a name that I'm not seeing here for some reason because BBMDB, I don't know if it reset itself last night, but the guy on the monitor, right? Bryce Young. He is up 5 spots. That would put him right behind Josh Palmer here, but something with the dates. I don't know if it was within 6 days or 8 days or whatever it is, but when I went to the 1 week setting, he was somehow off the list. So we'll definitely touch on him as well. But leading off here, we've got Braelon Allen definitely getting gassed up the board right now. A lot of talk that he's going to be the number 2 running back for the Jets. Not a ton of competition there. You have Israel Abanikanda, who had a nice finish to last year, but Braelon Allen comes in also very young, but he's far more built than Abanikanda. Definitely has the physique to handle that red zone type of bulk work, getting into the trenches inside the 5. I don't know if he's going to have a great season outside of a injury to Breece Hall. So I do like grabbing some Braelon Allen when I'm getting Breece Hall in some 6 running back builds. I don't necessarily want to do the 2 from the Jets with just 5 running backs in my stable. I think you can do a little bit better with that by just diverting, off of, a potential stack or a handcuff in Breece Hall. But you are backing up your first round pick. So can't really take too much issue with that. You just want to make sure that you're getting a little bit of extra exposure to the running back position. He's at RB60, so I'm seeing him going round 17 now. That's pretty consistent. We've got 4 more to fill the draft here. So if you're trying to get Braelon Allen in the last round, that's over. You get round 17 for sure. Next up, we've got Josh Palmer. He's coming off the board at wide receiver 56. He's up 5 spots. I've been buying Josh Palmer, so this isn't necessarily news to me. He's one of my guys right now. Definitely a great value that could easily finish his team in top 2 in targets and potential volume. 3 more to start this draft. So, yeah, love his opportunity there. DeAndre Hopkins, not that much farther ahead at wide receiver 42. He's up 4.5 spots, and I think, that's just an extra casual drafter, jumping in every now and again, helping gas him up the board because there really hasn't been much movement from the Tennessee Titans, this offseason. We haven't heard about any potential fireworks or any, OTA hype or anything like that. I think that just more people are like, oh, wow, like, DeAndre Hopkins is this far down the board. Sure, that's fair. Yeah, I'll take that. That up 5 spots. Not surprising. I would probably expect that to climb maybe closer to the Calvin Ridley ADP. Rashod Bateman is just kind of a callback to last week. He was someone that we discussed, and I don't argue against buying him, but I just prefer Devontae Walker at his ADP still. I feel like we could still get a drop here from Rashod Bateman, and keep in mind that the Ravens are in the market potentially for Michael Thomas. The Ravens, I've seen the Cowboys name there. I don't think that there's going to be a big move for the Ravens, but something that you just want to be aware of because his cost could fall immensely, and this uptick in his cost, you wouldn't want to buy him at that. Let's see. Next up, we've got Geno Smith. Doesn't really excite me. He's only up 4.5 spots. If I have the builds, if I have some DK, if I have some JSN or Kenneth Walker, Seattle stacks are very, very affordable. It's just that I'm also a big advocate of Sam Howell. He was someone that I drafted a lot last year, and I believe that the team, may struggle at some point this season. and you may see Geno Smith, either sidelined, benched, injured, whatever it is. Not someone I'm taking with a ton of priority, but I will when he falls, because I've seen him fall quite a bit. So it is a little bit surprising to see him climbing. Khalil Herbert, again, another name I've just been drafting. The talent is there. Obviously, DeAndre Swift coming into town definitely diminishes his opportunities, but there is also, talk that Khalil Herbert could get moved. He could get on a new team. There are a lot of running back hungry rosters out there. Dallas Cowboys, again, to bring to attention. Zeke Elliott, Deuce Vaughn, Rico Dowdle, not necessarily names that you're co-signing to, take 15 to 20 carries a game. Next up, we've got DeMario Douglas. Still 3 more to start this draft here. We are a bit stalled. Going on 17 minutes since I've been in this lobby. I got in at 6:50, and it's slowly gone up and down here. So next up, we've got DeMario Douglas, wide receiver 82. A very, very shifty receiver, a guy that can create his own opportunities with his footwork, his speed, and his use of change of direction. I like him, but it's such a crowded space. Like, you have Juju Smith-Schuster, who's not even getting drafted. He could just walk in and just be the number one guy. Now, obviously, there's still a lot of opportunities behind him because, like let's be real, it's Juju Smith-Schuster. He didn't have an amazing year last year. Even with the Chiefs, he struggled at times. You could see that the quarterback was making him and he wasn't making the quarterback. So tough to really buy into any of the New England receivers. They may, in fact, be the lottery ticket you're going to need to win Best Ball Mania 5. Just have to get the right one. DeMario Douglas is a good start, but I like Polk. I like Baker. I'm just looking to get the most value if I'm going to invest in that wide receiver room. And right now, honestly, it is Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm not taking as many shares of him as I am, say, like Michael Thomas, because I believe Michael Thomas's cost will go up when he gets on a new roster. Whereas Juju Smith-Schuster, he might move around. He might move too. But that's just, again, kind of like when people realize, kind of like with DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, hey, this guy's down here. Cool, I'll take him. I know who he is. I've seen what he can do. And then lastly, Ty Chandler here. We still got 3 more to fill the draft. Wide receiver 46, getting a little bit more gas this week. I think it was an offensive lineman. I'm not sure which for the Vikings. It said, we've got 2 number 1 RBs. Like, that's cute. I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think Aaron Jones is the better running back. Ty Chandler and he could spell each other very well this year. And I think it's a good situation to buy into because they're going to have to run the ball a lot anyways. They have, lower expected production at the quarterback position versus what they had with Kirk Cousins. Chandler, Jones, going to both get the ball a lot. I love getting Ty Chandler as my 4th or 5th running back. I've done so a lot. So this is another, play that I've been buying, and the market is starting to adapt with me as well. So while I have a fair share of a lot of these guys, Palmer, Hopkins, Herbert, Chandler, those are definitely the names I've drafted the most. I would, want to sort of pivot off of them a little bit just because I see that the market is gassing them up. I'm not really worried about having to pay around extra when I already have plenty of shares of them. I don't have to worry about continuing to invest. I can look for the next guys that are potentially falling. Speaking of falling, we just lost someone in this draft lobby. Guys, I'm literally allowing you to come in here and snipe me. Snipe me. Let's pull up the fallers here. I guess before I do that, I should just touch on Bryce Young. He is on the board here. Wasn't on the list just because, I don't know what was going on with BBMDB. His ADP is 196. It's now up to about 190 in the last 7 days or 8 days, whatever it is. Again, this morning he was off the chart. Last night he was on it. So if you look at his ADP chart, it's going up and down and up and down and up and down across like the last 7 to 14 days. And right now it is up. So he's climbing. I don't know if that means we're going to get another dip at any time, but I really like Bryce Young just because he's a year 2 quarterback. We've seen improvements in year 2 quarterbacks very frequently with like the last, sub candidates like, Trevor Lawrence. Obviously CJ Stroud came in and, he was amazing, but I think Bryce Young fits that type of Trevor Lawrence mold, had all the hype, has all the acumen, just really needed the experience, which year 1 was really all about. So I feel like he's going to come in, he's going to have a much better season, and going in round 16, 17, 18, whatever it is, it's a great value just because you can also stack him up with many other Panthers in that portion of the draft. Like Adam Thielen, Jatavian Sanders. If you want to target any of the receivers behind Deontay Johnson or Thielen, like a Mingo or like a Leggett, I think that's possible. Xavier Leggett's pretty expensive right now. I don't want to get him too gassed up, but I think he actually just had an injury in OTAs, like something small. So I think that's kind of helping out his draft stock. We are back up to 2 more to start. So if you are in the chat and you are watching, please be sure to jump in the Best Ball Mania 5 draft with us. We're going to be starting here hopefully pretty soon. All right. Nick Chubb continues to fall. No idea when he's going to be back. He came out and said it. And I'll still buy the dip. I know it sounds crazy, but I will get him as my 5th or my 6th running back in these situations. Now, you are going to have some lobbies where people are just, they're stands. They're Browns boys. They're Brownies. They're standing by their guy, but it's just not necessary. You can get this guy at pick 150 or later. So definitely still buying Nick Chubb, but at an immense value. If I can get him for the last 5 to 6 games of the week, he is a potential big money winner for you in Best Ball Mania 5. Definitely someone that could potentially punch your ticket to the finals. Looks like the draft is about to start here. We are in the 3rd spot, so we'll get through the rest of some of these names here, and we'll get the board pulled up here. Spoiler, I'm probably going Tyreek Hill as long as things act accordingly. Tyrone Tracy Jr., he's falling. This was bound to happen. Everybody was just kind of juicing him up from the NFL draft. The realization has set in, hey, Eric Gray is still there. He's taking the majority of the OTA snaps with the ones. Oh, hey, a little bit of talk for Devin Singletary, boosting Singletary back up, giving him a little bit of love, some gas. Tyrone Tracy bound to fall. I will still buy that dip. The team has to run the ball a lot, and expecting Singletary and Eric Gray to be able to handle the full bulk of the load all season long seems doubtful. TJ Hockenson, people just weary of the injury. At tight end 14, he should probably be a little bit farther back given the uncertainty of what of his availability, I should say, this season. Ben Sinnott after him. Have not been buying Ben Sinnott, so that's a good dip for me. I would prefer if he was up there, and we're taking Tyreek Hill first. That is a week 6 bye, and they've got Cleveland in week 17, so maybe we'll get some Miami-Cleveland stacks. Keaton Mitchell, he's down about 5 spots. A little, again, more uncertainty out of the Ravens backfield, who could actually be the number 2 behind Derrick Henry. I'm in the Justice Hill camp. Some are in the Rashaan Ali, Keaton Mitchell for others. Take your pick your poison. Again, picking the correct player is very similar to picking the correct receiver behind maybe Juju Smith-Schuster or even Kendrick Bourne if he's still going to be there. So very uncertain right now. I'm not looking to buy too much Keaton Mitchell unless it's with my last pick. Next couple of guys up here, Troy Franklin and J.K. Dobbins. Kamani Vidal getting a little bit more love. He was someone that was at the top of the board last week. Troy Franklin, I think people are just realizing, hey, we don't know what the quarterback position is going to be here. Could Cortland Sutton get moved? He's going to report to OTAs and to minicamp. I don't think so. I think he's going to stick around. And I think Troy Franklin probably playing behind Marvin Mims and, the running backs for like the most touches there. So again, I think people are starting to realize like his role isn't going to be necessarily immense. Let's see. Austin Ekeler, he's down 3.8 spots. Love that. I will continue to buy the dip on Austin Ekeler. I can't stop buying Austin Ekeler. Just trusting the player, trusting the talent. The team went out. They invested in him when they really don't need to. They have a very good young running back in Brian Robinson Jr. I expect this committee between the two to be, a strong return on investment. I do not mind drafting both of them together on the same roster. I don't think that you have to, but continue to buy the fall for Austin Ekeler. JJ McCarthy doing the same, not really touching him. Baker Mayfield, another slight fall. But I think that's maybe more so with just some of the risers in the back end of the pool, not necessarily really anything to do with what's going on with them, what their potential is this season. I just think that you have some other risers in that area. Not touching JJ McCarthy and Baker Mayfield, I will dabble, especially when I have the stacks. We are back up here in 4 picks, so we are going to get the board up now, get into the draft. Underdog Fantasy. Again, appreciate you jumping in with us this morning. Be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow the Fantasy Six Pack Network. Back every Tuesday morning with a live Best Ball Mania draft. All right. We are up in 3 picks. On the board, we've got Ayuk, Barkley, Devontae Adams, Nico Collins, Jalen Waddle. I will be looking to get me some Devontae Adams. 3 spots after ADP. I'm up in 1 pick, and Ayuk and Adams are on the board, and Ayuk goes. Let's go, baby. I love that start. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. That's a lot of targets, guys. That is a lot of production I'm railing in right there. One of my more favorite starts here. Let's see what we're thinking about for our next pick. I'm trying to get the board up here, but my internet is not cooperating. My apologies. I'm up next. We've got Achane, Kyren, Diggs, Moore, Metcalf, Laporta, Cooper Kupp. Super interesting here. Do we go with the Achane stack? We already have 2 receivers. Let's I'm not sure. I kind of want Cooper Kupp here, but I don't want to double dip on the buys. Let's go Sam Laporta. Let's go elite tight end here. Let's see what we can do. It's a little bit early for Laporta. It's about 4 picks ahead of ADP, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Changing up the board here. And it just means I don't have to touch tight end for a long while. I can build up some good value picks at running back and receiver with my high-end combination of Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill. Love it. Just going to switch over. Yeah, I'm switching over to dark mode here. All right. I know you guys are tired of looking at my face. So let's pull up the board. There we go. There it is. There she is. All right. There we go. Slide back and forth. All right. So we started off with Christian McCaffrey, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Bijan, A.J. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs, Marvin Harrison, almost ADP to a T. And the badge bros are up. They are ready to draft. I love that. A lot of badges up in here. Second round came down to Marvin Harrison, Drake London, Chris Olave, Malik Neighbors, Devontae Smith. Again, business as usual there. Nothing really to see there. Jonathan Taylor, Deebo Samuel, Saquon, Barkley, Adams fell past ADP. I got a little bit of a value there. Nothing amazing. Very normal. I've seen it happen pretty frequently for him to fall back to 22 plus. So Ayuk, Adams, Evans, Collins. I've seen Waddle go ahead of him, ahead of Nico. Typically, someone's stacking up Tyreek, but that's not flying with us. So Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, Sam Laporta, Devon Achane, DJ Moore, Kyren, Stephon Diggs, Jalen Hurts, Cooper Kupp, Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers. Bit of a fall for Michael Pittman, I feel like. Usually he's going in like the mid to early 3rd round. Getting him late 3rd round is a very nice value, so I love that pick. Someone that I've bought a lot of for sure. Very excited about Pittman this year. I know that everyone's assuming, oh, well, you know, the Colts are just going to run the ball so much. They're going to run. It's like, yeah, I get it, but at the same time, this guy's a dominator. You know, he can get you another 160, maybe even 170 targets. We saw Derrick Henry go, Travis Kelce to start round 4, Tank Dell, Josh Jacobs, Trey McBride, T. Higgs, George Pickens, and now we've got a nice little run of QBs at Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. I am on the clock. Let's see what we got here. I think we're going to go with Mr. Amari Cooper. Is it Amari Cooper? Yeah, let's go for the week 17 stack. Screw it. We'll do Cooper and Hill. I don't love it just because Devontae Adams also has a week 10 bye. I don't love to commit to double bye weeks early, but we can make up for it because, like I said, we don't have to touch tight end for a long, long time. back up here in a few picks. We've got Christian Kirk, Mahomes, Andrews, Kincaid on the board. McLaurin, Keenan Allen, Hollywood Brown. I don't think Kirk will make it to me. I would like Christian Kirk here. If not, there he goes. There goes Christian Kirk. Maybe some more Keenan Allen. I really, really like Keenan Allen this year. I think he's going to be a massive tool for Caleb Williams. I mean, obviously DJ Moore as well, but DJ Moore can, still going to predominantly be running a lot of deeper routes, and I think Keenan Allen is going to be more of the security blanket and check down Charlie for Caleb Williams. So we are going to go Keenan Allen here. Let's see. Yeah, 2 picks before ADP. I can live with that. Looking back, I could have had potentially, Cooper Kupp and then got like Andrews or Kincaid there, if you swapped out the Laporta pick, but I'm okay with that. I like this build so far. Hill, Adams, Laporta, Amari, Keenan. Only one conflict with the bye weeks on week 10. After Amari Cooper went Pacheco, Kirk, Mahomes, Rashad White, Mike Keenan Allen, Mark Andrews, Jaden Reed, Dalton Kincaid, Terry McLaurin. Let's see, 8 spot is up now. Wondering what they're doing here. This guy's got Brown, Smith, Hurts, Higgins. Gosh, I wonder if he'll draft Dallas Goedert. Just going for the full Eagles build there. Goes Hollywood Brown. This cat in the 9 spot. Puka, Neighbors, Cup, Trey McBride. Getting a nice little Rams build here with Arizona. Some week 17 correlation there with Trey McBride and the elite Rams receivers. Let's see. 10 spot, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Michael Pittman, Josh Jacobs. Interesting. No real correlation there. Jets get Buffalo, Saints get Raiders, Colts get Giants, Packers get the Vikings, and Houston gets Baltimore. These are all week 17 matchups. His running backs are in domes. That's nice. His running backs are in domes for week 17. Oh my God is on the board on the 11th spot. Breece Hall, Drake London, Zay Flowers, Tank Dell. I don't love it, to be honest. I don't love it. I do like that Anthony Richardson pick there. I think maybe he was sniping him from the 10 spot just because the other guy has Michael Pittman. He might come back around with his next pick. And oh my God was saying, nope, not letting that happen. Let's see. After Anthony Richardson, Calvin Ridley, Rome Odunze. We have the 12 spot double tapping receiver there. He has Gibbs, Harrison, Henry, Kelsey, Ridley, and Rome Odunze. Like it, don't love it. I love the running backs, love the tight end, but the receivers, I'm still in that Trey McBride is going to be the number one receiver, target getter, whatever you want to call it for the Cardinals. So Marvin Harrison, I love Calvin Ridley. That's a great value. That's a good pick, but not there for me with Rome Odunze. I think I would have rather had Chris Godwin right there, honestly, with Calvin Ridley. I just don't know what type of role Rome Odunze is going to have on a team that will also run the ball a lot to protect the quarterback. We've got the 9 spot double tapping elite tight end. This was the Rams and Arizona build. Also now bringing in James Cook and Kyle Pitts into the mix. Followed behind Kyle Pitts is George Kittle, CJ Stroud. I'm going to be up here in a couple of picks. Up in 2 picks, we're looking at Ken Walker, Lad McConkey, Alvin Kamara, Keon Coleman, DeAndre Hopkins. I think it is safe, ladies and gentlemen, to draft a running back. So we are going to draft Sir Alvin Kamara. And we will potentially hit another running back here. I'm thinking Aaron Jones or David Montgomery. I like both of those options. No conflicting bye weeks. Like what we're seeing there. Maybe David Montgomery to pair up with Sam Laporta. I think that works for me. And then maybe we have a backhanded chance or outside shot at Jared Goff. So I would not dislike maybe like a Jared Goff and Tua Tagovailoa build here. See what we get. We also have the option for Caleb Williams. I mean, all of our quarterbacks are live right now with all of our players. This is a good position to be in. We've got Kamara, who's got Carr in the later rounds, Tua for Tyreek, Devontae Adams, take your pick, Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, Amari Cooper with the Deshaun Watson, very favorable ADP. I don't know about the player being favorable, but very good ADP if he's not a good player. Keenan Allen can tie him up with Caleb. So like what we have opportunity-wise here, we are going to go with David Montgomery. So I really like this start. We've got Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, and Sam Laporta. That's awesome. That feels really good. I'm interested to see what our quarterbacks are going to be when this is all wrapped up and finished. If you're in the chat, go ahead and tell me who you would prefer. If you like just taking my top pick with Tua, or if you think hey, just get the best value, you can get Carr, you can get Minshew. Share your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking here. After David Montgomery, we saw just a little piece of receivers. Brian Thomas, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, Keon Coleman. We haven't seen three receivers go together in a while since pick 33. I'm sorry, 35 to 33. Yeah, that's correct. 35 to 33. I don't know. That says 38. Oh, we got to slide it over. That's why we're not looking at the full board. Deontay Johnson off the board, round 7. Love that value. It's not going to be here forever. Keep buying Deontay Johnson while you still can. He's going to be a round 6 pick next month. He's going to be a round 5 pick the closer and closer we get to NFL kickoff. Christian Watson at that same cost as Deontay Johnson is just ridiculous. Like, very overpriced receiver in Christian Watson. He should be round 10 or later. I just don't know why he would be like an assumed starter, like the number 1 guy after what we saw from Jaden Daniels, Romeo Dobbs, what we saw from Dontavian Wicks down the stretch. It's just hard for me to believe that he can maintain any realistic, volume, like eight, like 5 targets a game. I just don't know if it's in his wheelhouse. He's not someone I've trusted last season, won't be trusting this. Of course, Christian Watson was on the Best Ball Mania 4 team that won. Huge run of running backs here. Let's see, Zamir White, Jonathan Brooks, DeAndre Swift, Zach Moss, Najee Harris. It's round 8. We've already got 2. I mean, I don't think it's necessary to grab a running back right here. Let's take a look. We're up in 3 picks. We've got Cortland Sutton, Jordan Love, John Connor, Raheem Mostert, Curtis Samuel, Tyler Lockett. I might hit another tight end here just because I really like the value. I will do it with my second pick, probably. Maybe Bowers to go with Adams, or Njoku to pair up with Cooper. Let's go Raheem Mostert here just to get a little bit of a stack to the Dolphins. So instead of getting Achane at his ADP, we're getting Raheem Mostert pretty much, right at his ADP, 3 picks ahead. I'm okay with that. So we just took a run of 3 running backs: Kamara, Monty, Mostert. We definitely don't need to do that now. Man, strategy says that I do not need to take David Njoku here, but I kind of want to, just so that I only have to take 2 tight ends and I'll feel very comfortable. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to take David Njoku right at ADP, and then I can just put a huge stop on tight ends, and I don't need to worry about any late round guys. There are plenty of receivers and running backs that I like going into round 10 or later that I'm comfortable with, that don't make me nervous, and I'm not losing sleep over in my exposure. Adam Thielen. I need to stop drafting so much Adam Thielen. I'm losing sleep at night about how much Adam Thielen I'm drafting. Yeah, let's go with David Njoku here. And then again, we're just done with tight end, so I like that. We have some stackability. We have Njoku. We have Cooper. We've got Hill and Mostert for that potential week 17. I don't know if it'll be a boomer. But it is the Dolphins and it is the Browns. The Browns actually have had a pretty reliable offense past couple of seasons. Stefanski is a good play caller. I think he'll have a good system in place. And hey, if Jameis Winston, poops the bed, we've got Daddy Jameis Winston. We're good. After Njoku, we've got Khalil Shakir, Tyler Lockett, Rashid Shaheed. I like Rashid Shaheed right here. I just really like my receivers. I just don't feel like I have to take a shot here in like round 9. I'm going to get some value players. They're going to give me a little bit more exposure to some spike weeks. And, the guys that I feel can come in and boom over some of the top guys occasionally. Romeo Dobbs, another run at receiver, 4 in a row there. Brock Bowers falls to pick 104. Trey Benson at pick 105. Trey Benson, a good amount of distance behind James Conner there. James Conner went at pick 91. Trey Benson at 105. I usually see them go pretty close together. It's interesting. Let's see here. We're at 106. Javonte Williams. I wonder what the gap will be for Javonte to Jaleel McLaughlin. It's usually like 30 or 40 picks, so interesting to follow that trend. A lot of people have been juicing up Jaleel. I'm definitely one of them. Mike Williams, Tajay Spears, Adonai Mitchell, Josh Downs. Okay. Dontavian Wicks, good pick there from the 10 spot. Let's see. Josh Palmer, one of the risers that we discussed. Definitely a very good value. I'm up in 5 picks. Let's see. We may have to take Tua at this pick. His ADP is 120, and that's falling. I'm at 118. I'm at 118 and 123. So I should probably double tap quarterback here, but it's very interesting because nobody else is. This is weird. I mean, oh man, I'm going to have to, if I did, I would be bringing them up the board immensely, but they're pretty much right at ADP cost. We're just having right now in this lobby a lot of falls at QB. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. Let's see, Brock Purdy also falling. Trevor Lawrence is still available. There we go. We got a couple of QBs to help out the situation. Caleb Williams goes. I'm up next. I am probably just taking my QBs here because I just don't need to risk it. So taking Tua over Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy, zero issue there. And we're probably just going to follow it right back up with Jared Goff. I mean, we have Purdy and Trevor there, but we don't need them. And we're getting Tua and Goff right at ADP. Like, I'm not going to risk for them to fall back to me. But again, I can be done here. I'm done at QB. I'm done at tight end. So I feel good about the situation. We just have to really nail in our receiver and running back picks to close it out, which I feel we can do. Those positions are going to have the most value in the later rounds. Obviously quarterback wilt as well. I mean, getting Derek Carr like in the last round is awesome because, I mean, getting a starting QB in round 17, round 18 is just ridiculous to me. But regardless, the players that are slept on, pretty frequently are readily available back there. So we've got Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery, Raheem Mostert, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Sam Laporta, David Njoku. Again, really like this. No issues for me. Actually, a team I think I'm really going to like here because, again, like my starting receivers, they should be in every week. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen. Those guys all have the potential to be a wide receiver 1 week in and week out. Obviously, Keenan Allen situation isn't as good as it was in San Diego with the Chargers, excuse me. But this is still going to be a team that's going to be competitive. Like the offense is going to be in a good position because the defense isn't bad, right? Like they're going to give them their opportunities with some short field stuff, and they're going to just pass the ball out. Like they didn't bring in Caleb Williams to not use him. So I'm still expecting a very good season for Allen, DJ Moore. Roma Dunze, I think, is just really the unfortunate one here of the bunch, just because he has so much competition for touches. After Goff, we had, let's see, Chase Brown, Blake Corum, Gabe Davis, Xavier Legette. Don't love that spot for Legette. That's just too much juice. It's kind of a Jonathan Mingo, Quentin Johnston type of appeal there, and he's been banged up in OTAs. It's an overvalue pick, in my opinion. I'm going to be dropping an overvalue wide receiver article for the Fantasy Six-Pack here in the next day or two, so be sure to look out for that. Xavier Legette, spoiler, he's going to make the list. Brandon Cooks, love that pick in round 11. That's a receiver I would have loved to take right there if I wasn't doing the double tap on QB. Definitely would have grabbed me some Brandon Cooks. Zeke Elliott, Trevor Lawrence, Jerry Jeudy, Justin Herbert, seeing a little bit more of a run on QB here. Jerome Ford, very good pick here in round 12. Man, all my guys are going. I better start looking at what's gonna be available to me here. Up in 7 picks, and I'm only looking at running back and receiver here because that's what I need. I'll kind of divulge what the board is doing here a little bit more so as we go on. Looks like there's going to be a running back that could fall to me. Up in 5 picks, Ekeler's still there. Charbonnet, Dottle, Keandre Miller, Marshawn Lloyd. Kind of liking Marshawn Lloyd. Tyson Chandler also available. Didn't get Aaron Jones, correct? Yeah, I didn't get Aaron Jones. Has the same bye week as Mostert. I may not do that, but I'm up in 4 picks. If Eckler's still there, we're taking Ekeler again. I do not care. I do not care. And if you're in the chat, you can go ahead and snipe me. I don't care. Go ahead and do it. You won't upset me. 3 running backs, 3 running backs, 3 running backs, the next 3 picks. I gotta believe one of these teams is gonna take them. Yeah, exactly. Just took them. LP8317. Oh, now it's my pick. I don't get to stare. All right, so let's see. Probably taking a receiver here. I'm gonna go Darnell Mooney. I'm taking a fair amount of him, but given this space for receivers, it's not pretty. I just took Darnell Mooney, and on the board we have Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Polk, Quentin Johnston, Jermaine Burton, Roman Wilson, Adam Thielen, Rashod Bateman. I just can't continue to take Adam Thielen, so I gotta pump the brakes there. Probably gonna go running back here. I'm thinking maybe Antonio Gibson at this ADP, just because I don't want to take. I'm probably only gonna take 5 running backs, and I already have a week 6 bye, so I don't want to jump into that now. And Tyson Chandler goes anyways, so I think we're gonna go Antonio Gibson here. We'll see if he falls. If not, I can also do Jalil McLaughlin. Both picks I really like right here. I've taken a lot of Jalil, so I think I want to get a little bit more Gibson. I just feel like in that Pats running back room, they're going to have to use him as a receiver quite a bit. They don't have any overwhelming weapons at any position other than Ramondre Stevenson. And I also believe that Stevenson may just not be the guy down the stretch, because why? The team's going to be bad. Why risk Ramondre's health when you're about to potentially give him a contract? You're going to re-sign him. I think they try to protect their investment, and Antonio Gibson gets a little bit more run than people will expect or believe. So after Darnell Mooney, we had Baker Mayfield, and one of our fallers that we discussed, Ty Chandler, a riser that we discussed, Tyler Algier, TJ Hockenson, Antonio Gibson, Cole Kmet. I feel like that was a good fall for Hockenson. Let's see. No, not really. He only fell, only 6 picks. I would have expected more. I've seen Hockenson fall quite a bit. Very polarizing player right now. I wonder if this guy got any stacks. Need the caffeine. It's early. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Rashod Bateman, Jalen Polk, Ricky Pearsall. See, we've got the 8 spot on the board here. Let's see what he does. Really taking his time trying to figure it out. Be sure to smash the like button if you already haven't. Subscribe to the Fantasy Six Pack Network. Appreciate you guys jumping in with us this morning. There he goes, Jermaine Burton, run of receivers. Looks like there's a pretty big Kirk Cousins fall. ADP 142. We're coming up on pick 156. Quarterbacks really fell in this morning draft. Love to see it. Love to see it. Normalize it. I love this value at 11 at night. That would be great. That'd be fantastic. Up in 11 picks here, coming down the stretch of round 13. Kirk Cousins goes at pick 156. Like I said, ADP 142. Interesting. I think he's going to have a big season. I think Atlanta's they're going to have a nice turnaround season. I don't know if it's, Tom Brady goes to the Super Bowl-esque, but I'm very excited about their weapons. Bijan, especially Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I love what they're working with. Obviously, Darnell Mooney, I just drafted him. Very close to the Darnell Mooney situation. Being drafted as a Chicago Bear. Roman Wilson goes off the board to, oh my God. Love the Roman Wilson pick. Someone that I've been drafting a lot of as well. Steelers also in that Michael Thomas, I don't know if you want to call it a sweepstakes, but there are multiple teams looking at him. They're one of them. I really hope it doesn't happen. I just don't think he's a good fit, and I want Roman Wilson to happen this year. The Steelers are very good and have always been very good at bringing in wide receiver talent, so I'm just hoping he's the next thing, the next big thing. Jaleel McLaughlin off the board at 161. I'm at 166, so we are coming up here. Let's see. I'm thinking Marvin Mims Jr. I would take Adam Thielen, but I have to make it against my religion because I have way too much of him. He's like one of my top 5 most exposed players. I can take more Adam Thielen. I just can't take him right now. And there goes Marvin Mims Jr. Yikes. Maybe some Chubb Hubbard, another discount running back I really like. Let's do Chubb Hubbard. Yes, let's do that. Okay. Before I lose my pick and I auto draft. Thank you. There we go. I'm never really worried when the phone starts to vibrate or the clock is ticking down. I'm usually pretty calm and collective, get the pick in. I'm not going to lie. Last handful of drafts, I've had a few occasions where I've auto-picked and I've been very upset with myself. Because that calmness, just like, oh, I'll be fine. Oh, shit. I lost my pick. Ouch. That hurts. Are they just going to let Adam Thielen fall to me again? 11 spots after ADP. It can't happen. We are at a 2-5-5-2 build right now. So really can go in any sort of direction here. I think I am going to grab a receiver that I like. Oh, no, I'm not, because I don't like any of them. Troy Franklin, Michael Wilson, Luke McCaffrey, Javon Baker. I am going to go running back here. I'm going to go with Khalil Herbert. I've been drafting a fair amount of him. I just know that the Bears are going to want to run the ball if he is there. So I am all good buying Khalil Herbert or Roshan Johnson because, again, if Herbert gets moved, his opportunity could climb immensely. If he's a Dallas Cowboy anytime this offseason, but prior to week 1, that's a massive, massive pick. I believe that could happen. I think that we could see some shoppers, maybe Khalil Herbert, maybe Miles Sanders. There's a fair amount of guys that could be on the move. Also, a few names that could get signed. Like Jerick McKinnon could pop up in somebody's backfield. Dalvin Cook still available. So, but the Bears have been good about moving pieces when needed. So I think we could still potentially see a Herbert move. But again, I'm drafting him under the assumption that he's going to be a Chicago Bear. So I still like him in Chicago. As a Chicago fan, I'm very familiar with Khalil. He's not the most explosive player, but he is smart. He does have good vision, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. It's just not a way that he's really been used. We are going to be using our last, I believe, 3 picks on wide receiver. Spoiler. maybe we can talk up some of those targets, see who's available back here, give some folks a chance to snap me. Let's see. Michael Wilson, Luke McCaffrey, Javon Baker. Yeah, if any one of those guys falls to me, I'm good taking them because it'll be well past ADP. I'm back up on the board at pick 190. So I wouldn't hate any of those guys. I don't know if any of them will fall. I do like Jalen Tolbert. I do like Zay Jones, Demarcus Robinson, Tyler Boyd, Darius Slayton, DJ Chark, Jalen McMillan. I could get Odell Beckham Jr. Stacked up here if I wanted to get a little bit more exposure to the Dolphins. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll sprinkle in him or Malik Washington. I'm not taking either of them at ADP, but maybe I will get one of them in this draft. Chase Claypool's been getting that love. He shines in OTA, says his underdog player notes. Josh Reynolds, not a bad substitution for Marvin Mims Jr. there. Man, I forgot about Josh Reynolds earlier when I was talking to him up. Bryce Young, juiced up, getting juiced up. Pick 186. Pick 186. I told you he was up to 190. That's another 4 spots, making him a 10-pick riser in this draft. ADP is 196 right now. So again, Bryce Young getting that juice. If you thought that you were going to start that Carolina stack, with Thielen or Leggett or Chubb Hubbard like myself, remember, you're going to have to start drafting Bryce Young a little bit sooner. Because everybody's got that gas for him. A lot of options back here for us. Let's see. I guess we will take a stab at Javon Baker. Let's get us that lottery ticket out of the New England backfield wide receiver room. Excuse me. Only 6 picks after ADP. Maybe we could have did a little bit better there, but we do have him paired up with Antonio Gibson, so a little bit of a stack there. 2-6-6-2. We have enough running backs. We do not need any more. So again, we're going to hit another receiver here. Zay Jones, Jalen Tolbert, Devontae Walker, Tyler Boyd. Really like Tyler Boyd. Also like Jalen Tolbert. Just like exposing myself to offenses that like to score. I will go Jalen Tolbert here in the hopes that Khalil Herbert will be a Dallas Cowboy and we have a nice little skinny stack in the back of our draft. So Javon Baker, Jalen Tolbert. We are very top-heavy at receiver. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Darnell Mooney, Javon Baker, Jalen Tolbert. But, I like the lottery tickets in Mooney, Baker, and Tolbert. And we're going to have another one here in 18 picks. That's going to be, our Malik Washington or our OBJ. I think someone will let OBJ fall to us. I really don't see a ton of priority for folks like targeting him at all. I've seen him gone undrafted plenty of times. Geno Smith right there would have been an interesting pick. I don't know. I don't necessarily love overloading myself with players from any one team. I do it for fun every now and again. Last year, I think my very first draft, I did like every single Seattle Seahawks offensive player. Got in all the receivers somehow. Ken Walker didn't advance, didn't make the playoffs. So learned my lesson. It's fun when you're doing it like, oh, I got this entire stack. I got this entire roster. It's mine. No, it's not. No, it's not. Just bad team. Just bad team you drafted. All right, after Tolbert, we went Jalen Hyatt, Geno Smith, Colby Parkinson, Tyrone Tracy, Bo Nix, Tyler Boyd, Justin Fields, J.J. McCarthy. J.J. getting drafted over Sam Darnold. I don't know if I love that. I will tell you, there was a draft I did. I think it was Joe Burrow, and then I double tapped my last 2 picks with Minshew and O'Connell. I wouldn't hate doing a McCarthy and Darnold last two rounds, getting that stack with like an elite QB. If you really, really believe in Minnesota or whatever the situation is, another team. Oh, and there goes Sam Darnold. There goes Sam Darnold at 207. Interesting. That person took Fields and Sam Darnold, and they already have Trevor Lawrence. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's way too much investment. I guess you have Sam Darnold early in the year. You have Fields at the end of the year. I guess I could get creative and come up with an argument there, but I just don't love that. That means that you need Trevor Lawrence to pace a top 5 season to yield, big results. Like if you make it in by your chinny chin, yeah, Justin Fields, he may close it down for you, but it's not going to be Sam Darnold, that's for sure. And yeah, we're going to get Odell Beckham Jr. here at pick 214. So getting him after ADP. Not bad. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. We're not as strong as a lot of my wide receiver builds, but I think we have a lot of balance here. So Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, both right at ADP. Both are 2 picks ahead of ADP. Alvin Kamara, David Montgomery, Raheem Mostert, Antonio Gibson, Hubbard, and Herbert. Not an amazing group, but a deep group, a group that I think that you can trust in and week out to get a couple of starters, a couple of two running back plays, maybe a third, for a couple of spike weeks here and there. ADP, a lot of these guys are actually ahead of ADP. Most of them are ahead of ADP. Most are 3 picks. Antonio Gibson, pick 147 versus ADP of 158. Hubbard, 166 versus his 171. So interesting, but that's how the board went. Again, quarterbacks were really falling in this one. So running back value was a little bit more juiced up than usual. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Darnell Mooney, Javon Baker, Jalen Tolbert, and OBJ. Again, a group I like. I don't maybe love just because the back 4 isn't as strong as the front 4. But obviously that's going to be always, difficult to say, oh, yeah, my back 4 is way better than my top 4. That would probably mean you have a very, very bad wide receiver group. But there's a bit of disparity there between the talent levels. But I think I made up for it with 2 really good tight ends in Sam Laporta and Njoku. So we do have some Detroit stacks. We do have some Cleveland stacks, some Miami stacks. Not bad. I like it. I'll give it a 7-4. I'll give it a 7-4. Just because I thought I could have did a little bit better on receiver. Didn't really know anyone in this draft. Ain't an internet nobody. Yeah, an internet nobody. I think I've drafted with that person a few times. Everybody else not really familiar with. Appreciate you guys dropping in, joining the draft with us, coming in, getting some ADP notes, ripping the live one. Be sure to check back with us every Tuesday morning for a live Best Ball Mania draft, as well as ADP tracking review. Take care, be well, be good. If you can't be good at it. We'll see you.